Hello and welcome back to Entrepreneur Talks podcast, season 3. I'm so excited. I'm about to introduce my new guest for this week. Feel free to get in touch with my guest because all the information about it will be on the description of each episode. You will find the website, social media, contact number, email, everything that my guest will provide, even a promo, something that you can get as a freebie because you've been listening, because you've been here with us. And don't forget, follow us on social media, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube by Women Flix. You will find all this information and much more. Get connected with us. Find more about what we do. And feel free to get in touch. My name is Yola Bastos, and I'm here with my guest that I'm about to introduce. So, sit down, relax, and enjoy. My guest for today's podcast is Agostino Mario Pintus. Agostino worked in the industry of technology for a long time. For many, many years with a lot of success. But then he was introduced by a friend to the power of buying large real estate deals. And that changed the entire course of his own life. Today, he lives by that. Let's welcome Agostino and hear his story and feel inspired. Hello, Agostino. Welcome to my podcast. I'm so glad to have you here today with me.
Thank you so much. I'm super excited to be here. Very excited to be here.
Fantastic. So in a very short way, before I start to do my questions, just tell me about yourself, about a little bit about yourself.
Sure. So my name's Agostino, as you pointed out. So I am a real estate entrepreneur, and what I do and what I do with my groups is that we go off and we buy big multifamily properties. So here in the States, you're able to leverage basically getting money from the bank, and you raise money, you raise the equity side, and then what we do is we go and buy these buildings, these properties that have people renting from us. And what they do is they pay down the mortgage for us because we own the property. They pay down the mortgage, and the rest of the money we of course keep. I give to the investors, and I keep some for myself, and everyone's happy. And using this methodology, what you're able to do is build long-term wealth, right? Is what you're able to do. You're building net worth, and you're building cash flow, right? So that in a nutshell is what we do. Here in the States is a fairly common thing. You know, there's a lot of people that get into real estate, but outside the United States, it's, I'm not going to say buildings are unheard of, obviously, but it's more like this methodology of buying big cash flowing assets is not done quite as frequently as it is over here in the States.
And so this is amazing. I never heard something like this, actually. Yeah. I'm interested. Can I be part of your team?
Well, you know,
I like that the part like is long-term wealth. I'm like, woohoo!
Yeah, well, that's the thing about it. You know, I was probably like many of your listeners. I was working in a corporate job, and I was doing my 40, 50, 60 hours a week, usually more than that, working in IT. And after continually getting into a situation where a boss would come in, hand me the box, tell me to get lost, fire me, whatever. How many times has your listeners, how many times that happened to you or heard of people going through this, right? And I had a 20-year career, Yola, 20 years of IT, six-figure job. I left it all behind to do this real estate thing. And, I'm not going to say there's happy days every single day. But I'll tell you, there's not a single day that passes that I say, oh my God, I wish I could go back to corporate America. Oh my God, I miss it so much. That's never happened. That has never happened.
It. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. I can imagine. So I'm interested on this. Let's do it. So tell me, and how did you start? Because you said you were 20 years on IT. So how long you've been doing this real estate, this game, which is a big game?
Sure. Yeah. It's funny. I started the real estate game when I was still in my I'd say early 30s. I was working in corporate America, and a friend of mine says, hey, you should go and buy some houses and rent them out. So I said, and now he and I working for the same company. The company just went public. We had some extra money. So I'm like, okay, why not? It's kind of like on a whim. Okay, sure. Cause my friend said so, I should do it. It's a good idea. I'll do it. And I started doing single family homes. And this is going back like 16 years at this point from today.
Wow.
And, but what happened was I started doing, these single families and small duplexes, right? So it's 2 units into one big house. Think of it as one big house with 2 entries, right? Two separate homes in one big house. And, stuff like that. And the whole premise behind it, though, was incorrect, meaning that I was doing all this, even though I was working a 6-figure job at a publicly traded company, I was a C-level executive, I was doing it out of fear. I was afraid. I was always afraid. I was like, if something happens to me, these guys are going to can me. I got to have money in case these guys can me. That's the wrong attitude to have if you're really an entrepreneur. Like I was hedging for failure instead of hedging for success, right? And what happened was, of course, years later, I built up this portfolio of real estate, but not quite to where I wanted it to be. It was just before 2008. And of course, I got let go by this company. That's a whole other story. But anyway, I ended up.
It's been a long time then you started.
Yeah, well, but you know what? It's unnecessary though. That's the thing. I took the long way around. It's not needed to do it this way for everyone. I just didn't know any better. That's the only reason.
Yes, I understand, because now you got experience. The fastest way, because yes, everything we started in a slower way, but when we want to share with other people, we end up, because we get the knowledge how to do it faster, so we put other people getting faster there, right?
Yeah. That's 100% correct. Once I learned about syndication, and what syndication means is you raise money from other people to put into a project, and then you make the project work, and the returns, the money that it generates, you give back to your investors in the form of a return, and then you keep some money for yourself, right? And you'd be surprised, syndication is not only done with multifamily real estate, or with real estate in general, but it's also done with movies. It's done with shopping malls. It's done with manufacturers. It's all the same thing. Whenever you take money from someone else, you have to register it with, at least here in the States anyway, with the SEC. I would imagine the same thing or something comparable would be in your country as well. But but basically, once I learned about this methodology of raising money from others and raising what's called the equity, and then getting the debt from the lender, then I can go buy an asset. Now, I make it sound easy. There's days that, trying to raise money during a global pandemic, for instance, has its challenges. I'll tell you that. But regardless, that whole thing has changed my life. It's shifted my whole thinking.
I believe so.
And I've been able to build a great deal of wealth in a short amount of time. But I've had to bust my chops to do it. It's not easy.
Yes, I believe so, because when it comes to me, and I'm thinking about what you're doing and how did you start it, you had a friend that told you, hey, you should go and buy the houses. I've got a friend that told me, hey, you should go and buy the house, but my fear I think I did put the fear in front instead of just do it, because that, I believe, is something that you didn't do it. You didn't fear about it. You just went through. You just went for it, because is a big step. Like we're talking about a lot of money, right? So I've been in I went for a training, a webinar, a weekend about properties, and I understood everything and I love it. And I said, I'm sure if I get into this, I will make money. But I don't have the money right now to start it. So that's always my thoughts about it, the property thing. I need to get a little bit of money in my bank account, right?
Well, but you know what though, Yola, here's the thing. Here's what I like to do now, and I spent years studying for this, and that is to try to understand first you have to understand where the fear is coming from.
Yeah.
Right. That's the key. Why are you afraid? And the reason why you and other people are afraid is that it's your brain. Your brain is designed to keep your body safe. It's designed to keep your ego safe. It's designed to keep everything safe. That's what fear is. Fear is like a safety mechanism. Okay?
Yeah,
it's a safety. And the problem though with fear is that it also tends to hold you back. You're comfortable. We don't need to be doing this, Yola. That's what your brain is telling you. We don't need to be doing this. We're fine right here. We can watch TV and we can eat, we can have some chocolate and we can just chill out in front of the TV. It's safe here. It's warm here. We don't have to go outside.
Yeah.
Right? It's safe here. That's what your brain is telling you. And then, and of course, the brain tricks us into thinking, yeah, that's fine, but it wouldn't make any sense unless there was an excuse. And the excuse is, I don't have any money, therefore I won't do it, right? Mm-hmm. But when you begin to understand and train around those sorts of things, you understand what the breakdown is, you lose all fear. And I mean, I've been through a lot of stuff. I just about lost everything. Yeah. And I, of course, getting fired numerous times, having the IRS chase me down, the Internal Revenue Service, the tax man over here in the States. There is absolutely nothing on this planet that I'm afraid of anymore.
Oh wow!
After all that, I am not afraid of anything. I'm not afraid of anything.
I love that.
Right, but you know what? But you know what though, Yola? I'll tell you one other thing too, is that there is a way for you to do this business, and that is to build a network of people.
Yeah.
That's the key. Right? You don't. So if you're able to deliver value to an investor, right? So an investor, typically a person with money, they have a problem. The problem is that they have all this cash, they have liquidity, or they have money trapped in some sort of retirement savings plan of some kind, and it's not making any return. That's a problem for them. However, if you, Yola, decide that I'm going to learn how to invest this money in a certain cash flowing asset and then present my case to these people that have money, and you do a good job with it, guess what? They're going to believe you. They're going to believe in you, and they will say, okay, fine, let's partner up. Let's do a deal together. That's what they do, because investors, smart investors, they want to invest their money. Yeah. They want to invest their money, and they want to invest their money in good people that they trust. That's how we did it. I mean, hey, listen, I started from zero, just like a lot of people did. You know, it's like when I started, I had zero, I had nothing. I had to start from nothing. Yeah.
The training that I had, we did call these people, like the ones that you mentioned, they are the angels, because they are the investors. So they invest, because on the training that I had, they teach us that, like, you don't need to have that kind of money, but if you really train yourself, and like you said, exactly like you said, it's so true. Yes, so I need to do that step, because this is the game, the big game. I love this. So how many people works with you, like right now, your company?
As the business grows, it gets a little more complicated. But I'll tell you, the interesting thing as it sits right now is that I only have a handful of people that work directly for our group, meaning they're and primarily they're handling like the podcast. We have a podcast. We have social media stuff that we do, but for the most part, it's all like property managers, for instance. All right. So the people that go and manage the properties, they take the money from the tenants that live there. They make sure that they're happy, that they have all their needs taken care of. Maintenance people, we have, the CPAs and attorneys and all that. I mean, it's a pretty big team, but they're not all like, there isn't like they all sit in my office waiting for me to give them instructions. They're all third party type scenarios. So that's another great thing about it, is that where we are right now in terms of a business, it's all outsourced, so to speak, right? Except for those functions I mentioned before. Now, as we continue to grow, yes, I'm going to have to start either pull those people into an office or manage them remotely, which is primarily what we're doing right now. But that's a great thing about this business, is that we're able to scale by multi-million dollar properties. I mean, just this past weekend, I put in an offer on, I'm waiting on a purchase agreement for a $5 million property and another $3 million property. That's in a weekend. So I'm waiting for that right now, as of this recording. So hopefully next time we talk, I'll have them both locked up. Yeah.
So right now I am going to ask you to send some couple of these millions through the vibes, to the energy of the universe to my site.
Well, I would rather show you how to find it yourself than rely on anybody else. Yeah, because that's the thing. It's I had to learn the hard way on how to do all this. I did not have a mentor to even speak to about it, aside from that attorney that even told me about this syndication thing and got me on the path. I had learned from books. I had to learn from, then after that was trial and error. I bought a deal, and it's like, okay, the deal went okay, but it could have been better, that kind of thing. And then now we mentor people and we help people get into this business. And one of the good things about that whole program is that I won't let my students screw it up. I won't let them get into a crappy deal.
That's really good. So I can learn then in your company then.
Yeah, absolutely. Anybody can. That's a thing. But unlike the boot camp people and all that, it's not. I'm not going to tell you, oh, this thing is super easy. Anybody can do it. It takes a great deal of effort. Mm-hmm. Yes. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It takes effort. It takes work. It takes really applying a high degree of emotional intelligence, like it does with any sales type of role. This is a sales job. Basically, you have to sell yourself as a capable person that can get the job done, that can raise the money, that can close the deal, that can perform on the deal, manage the people that are making the property function, all those different things, right? And I'm not going to say, oh yeah, it's super easy. Oh yeah, just buy my program. I have a hard time with that. I have a hard time with people that say that kind of stuff, because I do this every day and it's not as easy.
Yes. I totally understand. And I can see, like, through your words, the mindset to building a success business is very important. It has to be
Absolutely.
a specific mindset, right?
Yeah.
You need to learn as well on your teaching, on your program. You probably is one of the points that you need to really create or teach now. I mean, like, practice and change, because, right?
Yeah. Well, the mindset is where it all begins. That's the thing that people underestimate, is that this isn't just a simple, push the button and make it work. This is something that you really have to believe in to the core of your being. Yeah. You have to believe in the business, that whatever it is you're doing. In this case, it's real estate. But you have to also believe that you can do it yourself. Visualize it. Set the goals, and nothing crazy. Like, it has to be realistic goals. And then execute on those goals, right? But even aside from that, there also comes in doing the daily affirmations, which I'm really, really big on. Writing down your affirmations. I know that all sounds foo-foo. It sounds ridiculous. It sounds stupid. But I'll tell you, if you write down your affirmations every day and you think about them, and as you're writing them, you visualize them, and you start making steps to just a little bit. Making steps to making those dreams real, it will come true.
Yes.
you know?
I also created my voice videos, I record my voice with my affirmations. So I do
Yes.
every day. I do listen to affirmations that I created. And then I will create more, but it's so good. It just changed totally my day just because I start like that. I used it as a daily thing. Yeah, like you said, can sound like fufu. You said fufu.
Foo-foo. Yeah. It's foo-foo. Foo-foo nonsense. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, but it's so powerful. I believe, and I feel so good, like thinking about it and just repeating myself. So powerful.
But you know what though, Yola? There's something else too that people also underestimate is that if you do it first thing in the morning or in the morning, right? You do it in the morning when your mind is most open. You just woke up from sleep.
Yes.
And you write down your affirmations. You maybe make your coffee and you write down your affirmations from early in the morning before you really start your day. It's at that point that your mind is most open and ready to accept instructions.
Yeah.
You know, that is really the most powerful time to be doing these affirmations. That, and of course, if things go bad that day, everybody's got a bad day once in a while, you know.
Yes.
And writing down your affirmations is another great way to really remind you as to where you're going, right? And that's the thing. I mean, there's days when things just don't go the way I planned. I'll instead of getting upset or getting
remember
whatever, just sit down and write down your affirmations. That's the best way to really remind you as to where you're going.
That's beautiful. So for my listeners right now, this is just a tip, a big, powerful tip for everyone. So start to do it. It's really good. I believe in the same. So one more question, because I'm just like, wow, this is so amazing, because we came to do our podcast today, Agostino, with the aim to talk a lot about also your business as a business, like where you started and how it goes. But we came to the point to talk about our mindset and something that we didn't plan for it. So I love this. I love the fact that we just become more simple and really touch the points like these are the essential for a business, which is the mindset, the way you wake up, the way you do your rituals in the morning, the way you believe in yourself, the fear that you do have, because this is all the big things that are behind the business and make us successful.
Well, Yola, I'll even say this, that every single thing that we do is all mindset. And I mean, really, what is the difference between just two people? One is super, super wealthy and the other one is just okay. It's the mindset. They have they're made of the same stuff, right? The people have, like, we're all made of the same, the skin, the bones, the eyes, all of it's pretty much the same. What's the difference? What is the difference? It's the mindset. It's the software. And we can program that software. We can make it do what we want to do. It requires a great deal of effort and discipline. That's the key. It's the effort, the discipline to put in the work.
The consistency.
Exactly.
Yeah. Powerful. Thank you so much for this. Oh, I love it. So now tell me, how can people connect with you and find more about your work, or even to get registered on your program? How they do it?
Sure. So bulletproofcashflow.com, where we talk a great deal about real estate, multifamily. Of course, mindset is one of the key factors as well. We also have a YouTube channel, Bulletproof Cashflow. We're on Instagram. We're on Facebook. We have a private Facebook group as well. I encourage your audience to join if they'd like to do just that. So yeah, I would appreciate love to connect with people. Love to do that.
Awesome. And what about the program? It will be on your website if anyone wants to register.
You mean as far as the coaching is concerned?
Yes.
Yeah. So it's just bulletproofcashflow.com/multifamily coaching.
Okay. All right. So multifamily coaching. Oh, okay. So that will you on this multifamily coaching is where you teach about the how to become how I say the real estate buying and selling houses and that stuff?
Well, right now, the way it works is that when they put in their name and address and all that stuff, they get routed to one of my assistants, and then they connect them with me, and then I actually reach out to you. Now, what we do though, we actually have a platform that we're going to be releasing here soon. I just recorded all of the content right now. We're editing it. It's in post-production, and shortly we're going to have it all online. So we'll be able to deliver the program anywhere in the world. And the material that I put together is a little different than the way other people do it, in that I go into some excruciating detail. So the details that other people just don't cover. And I think it's mainly because I learned all this stuff right from the beginning. And so there's mistakes that I made, and I incorporated those mistakes into the program. So it's like, hey, here's a mistake I did. Don't do this mistake, and that's the problem.
Agostino, very, very good.
Yeah, well, and part of it is that many of the gurus out there, they in order to display higher status, they present everything as if everything's gonna go perfectly. Here, I will tell your audience right now, and anyone else for that matter, nothing ever goes perfectly. I've been doing this for a long time, and there's always something that screws up. Someone somewhere screws something up.
Yeah, I expect it, because nothing is perfect.
Right. Expect it, be ready for it, and it's okay. Just navigate it. It's fine. Expect it, and if nothing gets screwed up, then super, right? Then that's okay too. But as long as you expect it and you anticipate it, it reduces your overall anxiety.
You will be ready. Yes. That fear, that anxiety we will settle. Okay, I was expect probably could happen or not. So that's really good. I will have a look and I will see. So the program is not yet, like you said, the virtual one online is not ready, but it will be soon.
Yeah, I would say the next couple of weeks anyway. Hopefully by June we'll have it up and running. Fantastic. So it's fairly quickly.
Yeah, and we will be available through your website. You're going to have a link there, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Good to know. So everything will be also, all your social media company details, everything will be on the description of the podcast, on your podcast, so my listeners can get access straight away. Soon you go live.
Excellent.
Thank you so much. It was amazing conversation.
Thank you,
Agostino.
Yes, thank you for inviting me.
You're welcome. And I'm looking forward to be able to get into this program. Change my life. I really love the fact, like you said at the beginning, a lifetime wealth. I like that word. I'm gonna work towards that. It's what I'm doing. So I believe on that. Thank you so much. God bless you and continuously be successful.
Excellent. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. Take care. Bye-bye. Take care. This is the end of our session today. I really hope that you enjoy this session with my guest. I love it. Feel free to find more information about my guest and get connected with. He will be on the description of this episode. You will also find a freebie. There is always a freebie from my guest to you. Follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, where you will be connected with Women Flix, empowering women around the world. Get to know more about us. My name is Yola Bastos, and I'm so grateful that you've been here with me and my guest on this week. I really hope I can see you next week for a new story, a new journey, a new inspiration. Take care. Bye-bye.